some Palia, play some games. We're going to be talking about some talents, talking about a little bit of Jesus today, a little bit of everything. I was talking to Emmy about what I should do more of, and I'm going to try and be a Palia streamer. I'm going to go put in my application to be a Palia streamer, maybe a cozy gamer streamer. So if they accept, I don't know. I'm nothing too big, nothing too great in that area, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to see if they'll accept me as one of their content creators. And if so, then we'll get a whole lot more of this content. So we're going to just try some gentle, nice, cozy gaming today and talking about all sorts of easy, fun things to talk about. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the opposite of cozy, fun, and nice gaming. So I guess this all started. We'll start with where it all started. I lost the state fair photo contest, and I'm usually okay with that. I try very, very hard not to be a sore loser. I try very hard to encourage everyone around me and be a source of goodness and happiness. So I try very, very hard not to be a sore loser. In this one case, though, I definitely feel a little bit about being a sore loser, and that is because the winning photo was an abstract piece of art. I don't even know if it was really a photo. When I saw it in person, I thought that it might have been a photo of an oil painting or some sort of abstract painting. Like, it did not look like a photo. I'll see if I can get you to show on screen in a little bit to see it. So I kind of felt cheated. And then second place was not very good either. So I definitely felt a little cheated by losing. And again, I don't say that to be a sore loser. I really don't feel like it was fair. And with that came a self-esteem blow because, like, I'm losing my job soon. That blows. And like, I can't sell a photo. I have my photography business has been doing poorly. My YouTube gets barely any views. My stream doesn't get very many views. So it feels like I'm good at things, but I'm not like great. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm especially good at any one thing. And that's kind of been starting to weigh on me. So I was like, if I'm going to have this free time here soon, and I probably will have some free time here soon, I should spend some of that time trying to find something that makes me set apart, something that I'm like really good at, right? So I've been trying to find what am I really good at. So we're going to try cozy gaming. That's where the title, the Cutie mark, comes from, right? I need to find my Cutie mark. I need to find what it is that I can do, or only I can do, or what I do that's good, right? Because, like, I take photos, I post those photos, and they get nothing on Instagram, nothing on TikTok, nothing on YouTube, and I understand, like, logically that shouldn't matter to me, right? Like, I should enjoy my art for what it is. Other people's validation doesn't matter. But it doesn't feel good when you post something and no one sees it, especially when you try really hard, right? So I know that my photography is nothing special in that regard, in that it doesn't bring in the millions of views like anything else. I can play bass guitar, but I'm not like good enough at bass guitar to be in a band or anything. I can play along to Rocksmith, and that's about it. So, it's really hard to find what I'm good at. Anonymous gave a T-Pam Radio a tier 1 sub. Thank you, anonymous gifter. I'm guessing that's Emmy, but thank you for the community sub. I think it's the first time we've ever had a gift sub kind of coming through here, so thank you for that. So I want to take that time to really find what is it that I'm good at. Now, the one thing, and this is where I know that I've lost sight of the end goal. And I had this deep conversation with Emmy on this, right? Like, I know that I'm in the wrong, but this is a logic versus emotional problem. Like, logically, I know everything I'm saying is stupid and wrong. But when you feel something, emotionally feel something, it's very hard, right? They're two opposite sides of how the human spectrum works, right? Like emotions often fight with your thoughts. I'm washing dishes. I'm not doing anything. So I do a lot of evangelization. I do apologetics on Reddit, and I've had people message me and tell me that, they're closer to God because of me. They feel they know their faith better because of me. They've been drawn into the faith because of me. That means more than anything that could ever come from TikTok or YouTube or anything like that, right? That's people's immortal soul being saved because of my actions. Not to toot my own horn. That matters. That's meaningful, and yet it doesn't mean much to me because I'm striving after these stupid likes on TikTok and YouTube. And again, I understand that doesn't make sense, right? That's not what you're supposed to do. I understand one matters more than the other, but you can't help what the heart wants, right? Like, my brain's telling me logically think this way, but my heart's saying no, crave those validations and likes on TikTok, right? So I just gotta find what I'm good at. I'm good at evangelization. I'm good at taking photos. I'm good at streaming, but I'm not truly great at anything. And that's what I want to find. What is it that only Charlie St. Waffles can do? What is it that only I can add to this world? For some people, it's art. They can add this beautiful art to the world. Some people, it's writing. They can add books and poetry. And speaking of, Emmy won 4 awards for poetry at the state fair. Like, she has contributed something to the world, to the zeitgeist, to the world forever has this beauty and art in it because of her actions. That's something only an artist can add to the world. And I haven't found that for me. What is it that only I can add to the world that improves the world in a way that I guess I get validation for through TikTok or YouTube and all these things? And again, I understand I shouldn't want that validation. I understand we're supposed to sit here and say, no, I do it for me. I'm struggling with it right now because I do want that validation. You see all these things that go viral on TikTok that don't matter. You see someone doing a stupid dance or say something stupid, like the I Like Turtles kid who just said I like turtles and gets millions of views, and now he got invited to like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle premiere because he said I like turtles 20 years ago. I want that moment for me. And I know that's selfish, and I know it's not logically right, and I understand that everything I'm saying here probably is being viewed through a childish lens of a tantrum of why not me? Why aren't I special? Why don't I get my moment? But I can't help it. That's how I feel. And even though we're discussing feelings versus logic, and feelings can lie to us and feelings don't always matter, I understand that too. I tell that to people every day when we're talking about God. Like, they say, well, I feel like God doesn't love me. Well, your feelings don't matter because that's not true. What you feel can lie to you. I explain that to people every day, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a victim of it as well, right? It's easy to fall into your own headspace, and as much as you give out advice, it's hard to live the advice, right? That's why I also try and walk the walk, talk the talk, right? When I give out advice, I try and follow that advice. When I try and guide people to God, I try and talk about things that have led me to God, because I don't want to be a hypocrite in that manner. But at the same time, we're all human, so we're all gonna be hypocrites, right? Like, there's that's just, to be human is to be a hypocrite. At some point, we're what was that famous quote? What is a human but a miserable pile of lies? I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but I do believe that every single human, in some way, shape, or form, one way or another, intentional or not, is a hypocrite at some point. And again, that might not be their intention. Like parenting. I'm not a parent, but I know that a lot of parenting is hypocrisy, right? You tell your kid, I always want to explain to my kid exactly why I'm doing what I do. And then 10 minutes later, it's do what I say because I tell you what to do, right? Because you're tired of explaining it. Everything is going to have some level of hypocrisy to it. And I think that's okay. We hear this as a dirty word, right? Someone calls you a hypocrite, and that means you're bad. But it's just, it's the human condition. There's nothing we can do to change that. We can definitely try and prevent it. We can try and be honest and open, but at some point you're going to do something that's contrary to your morals and values, and it might not even be intentional. Like we've talked a great deal about piracy and theft on this channel, and how I think all forms of piracy and theft are wrong, and I try to avoid it as much as I possibly can. And then I bought some Pokemon games online because I wanted to play some Pokemon on stream, and those Pokemon games were fakes. Those were hacked ROM cartridges that someone had ripped from the internet and sold. And did I know that when I bought them? It's debatable. They were cheaper than buying it like in a game store. That's why I bought them. Amazon had Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald for $30 when buying like the game regularly is $50 to $100 per game. So I was like, oh, all right, this is cheap. I'm gonna buy this. And if I'd done any research or thinking about it, I probably would have realized, oh, it's cheap because it's stolen. But does that make me a hypocrite? Possibly. You know, we play the Pokemon Infinite Fusions a lot on stream. I love Pokemon Infinite Fusions. Is that stealing? Is that, you know, because the person who made it doesn't own Pokemon, right? They don't have a right to that IP, but at the same time, they're not selling anything. I haven't paid anything. I own a copy of Pokemon. All they're doing is altering the files in Pokemon. Is that wrong? And that's where like a lot of debates go into. Well, is it wrong to just alter my files instead of downloading a movie? I'm just altering ones and zeros until I get the same thing as a movie. It becomes into a gray area. So even by intention or not, we become hypocrites whether we like it or not. So all we can do is our best, right? And that's, we're going to go full circle here now that I've been ranting for 10 minutes. That's all I want to know. I want to know, what is it that Charlie St. Waffles can do best? What is it that is my cutie mark? What is it that is my ability that other people don't have, or something that makes me uniquely me? And I don't know what that is. I want to know what that is. You know, some people are lucky and find that out early on in their life and find out what it is that they do that's special or makes them special or anything like that. I haven't gotten a chance to do that, and that's what I'm going to use this time for. It's the same thing with people keep asking me, well, like, are you gonna go try and find a new job in the bank? And I don't like banking. And I say, well, why did you work for a bank for 13 years if you don't like banking? It's all I knew, right? It's what I was comfortable with. I got the job when I turned 18, and then I just stuck around. Like, I never got a chance to job hop and try different jobs and find out what it is that I like, what is it I don't like. So, will I end up at another bank? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is that I want to do with my life. I can tell you what it is I want to do. I would love to do photography and content creation full time, but I understand that's a pipe dream that most people don't get to live. So most people have to work a job that they don't want to work. Okay, I can accept that, but can I find something I like a little bit more than banking? Probably. And I'd like the opportunity to do that, but I don't know. This is the first time that I'm really saying I don't know what's coming next in my life. I was one of those, was the word neurotic, narcissistic? I don't know what the right word is. I had everything planned out, right? When I was in the 4th grade, I remember we got this paper that was supposed to be like, what's my life going to look like when I am 22? And I was the first kid done with that assignment because I knew I was going to be a CEO, I was going to be married, I was going to have 2 kids just like my dad, and we were going to have a house out in the country, and we were going to have a farm. And like I wrote so much on that paper because I had it all figured out. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And then life caught up to me too fast. Like, I got into high school, I was going through high school, and it was time to think about college, and that's when I realized my parents couldn't afford college, and because of some personal things I can't talk about, there was no way for me to fill out the FAFSA, the financial aid for students, financial aid for student what does that stand for? Financial aid for students something, whatever that is. I couldn't fill that out, so there was no way for me to go to college unless I was willing to take out $100,000 of student loans, because we basically had two college choices. And this is one of those things that were like one of those big lies that you got told all through school, that turns out it wasn't a lie. You know, that you can't go to community college because community college is for dropouts and losers. Like, no, community college is for people who are smart, who don't want to take out $100,000 of loans. So I was like, okay, well, I can't take out $100,000 of loans, so college just isn't an option for me. And then the question began, like, well, what am I going to do with my life? I can't do college. My backup plan was the military, but I had a massive hernia, so I couldn't get into the military. So no college, no military, and I lived in a small town working at a grocery store. So it was like, what am I going to do? I had no plan. So I just got a job at the bank. I was like, okay, well, I guess that's my plan, is I'm just going to work my way up from the mailroom at the bank to the top. Like those stories you hear, right? You start in the mailroom, and in 20 years, you're the CEO of the company. All right, well, let's start doing that. And that was my plan. And it worked. I started at the bank making $10 an hour, and I worked myself all the way up to the salary that I was earning, just shy of $80,000 plus bonuses and all that brought it up from there. So, you know, I worked my way up. It worked. And now that's all gone. And I got my degree, right? So I could maybe use that, but I don't know what I want to do it on. So it's scary to not have a plan and to see it all kind of crash and burn, but it's also kind of exciting. Why is a common garden snail taking 40 smoke bombs to take down? So I want to find what it is that I want to do. I don't know what that is. Banking? No. Photography? Would love that. Understands pipe train. Content creation? I would love to do this for 8 hours a day, but I understand, like, one, that's a pipe dream in itself. Less than 1% of people get to actually do this, but also, like, excuse me, we're in a recession, right? People can barely afford their groceries, and it seems kind of selfish to try and have a job that relies on other people to pay me while people are struggling to pay for their own food and bills, right? Like, I'm not saying it's wrong, and I'm not trying to say streamers who get paid by people, you know, like the Patreons and stuff, are bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's also like there's a guilt factor. Like, hey, you guys watch me and I'm providing you free entertainment. Could you possibly send me, you know, 20, 40 bucks a month to pay for my bills so that I can continue to sit here and entertain you? Like, I don't know. It feels wrong, but I know that it's not, right? Because it's the same thing. Like, that's what a movie is, right? That's someone saying, we filmed this for you, and we want you to watch it, enjoy it, but we want you to pay us $20, $30 to watch said film to pay for our work. That's how entertainment works, right? So it's not wrong, but for some reason, it just doesn't feel right to me, and I don't know how to fully explain that, right? Like, I understand that it's not wrong, and I understand my logic is wrong, but it just doesn't feel good to me. So we'll have to find something else. You know, I think I would love to be a mailman, to be honest. Been trying to get my steps in and lose more weight, and I can't think of any way better to lose weight than having to walk 30 miles a day delivering mail. So mailman kind of sounds awesome. I don't think I would hate that. I don't know what else I could do. So if you're watching this on YouTube land, you know, and you've made it this far into the video, drop a comment. You know, tell me what should I try? What should I look at? What should I do? Give me ideas. I'm willing to take all ideas. Could be a garbage man. I hear garbage disposal pays pretty well and is pretty fun. Get to drive the big garbage truck around. Could do that. I would love to get a state job, but everyone knows state jobs are a gamble to even get into. But I would love to get into a state job. I would love a forestry job. Like, if I didn't have my massive, horrible hernia, and I can just go walk around forest management all day. Park rangers, guiding people around nature and talking about all the stuff that's out there. I would love that. I would love like a night observatory. I'm pretty sure you need like an astrophysics degree to do that sort of thing, but that'd be really awesome to talk about the stars and all that, right? Every night. That could be really fun. Don't think that's a realistic job. I know restaurants are a terrible gambit to get into. I know that most restaurants fail. Bubbles here. Welcome. How was the fair? That is a tough question. Let's talk about the fair. I was already talking about it a little bit, but let's talk about the fair. How do I talk about the fair? I don't know if it's because I'm just an old man at heart, but like we walked up and down all the vendors at the fair, and like 90% of the vendors are just selling cheap stuff that you buy off of AliExpress, or was it Temu now, or any of those places where you just mass buy cheap Chinese garbage. Like that's all the vendors seem to be at the state fairs now. It's just like cheap little fake guns and knockoff Sonic backpacks and weird looking fake Pokemon. And like I remember going to the fair as a kid, and I thought I remember the fair as a kid was full of like handcrafted, artisanal, cool items from vendors all across the state that you can't see anywhere else. That's how I remember the fair. And now when we go, it's just like, okay, I could buy that online, I could buy that online, I could buy that online. Like, why did I even come here? Like, this isn't anything special. This is just everyone reselling things from the internet. So that was disappointing. Then you look at the fair food, and the fair food is $30, $40, $50 for greasy food that's going to make me feel terrible. So we skipped the food. We didn't buy anything because it was all cheap garbage. The good thing, Emmy won 4 awards for her poetry and for her cross-stitching. So that was like the highlight of the fair, was to see all her winnings. And there was some really cool stuff in the handmade categories. Really cool. We got to see somebody made like Mercy from Overwatch, like a life-size statue of Mercy with the full armor and the wings. That was a beautiful piece of work. There was a lot of great cross-stitching stuff, blankets, the cake decorating. Like, there was so much cool handmade stuff. Really awesome. But then here's what was frustrating. So, like, we were looking at the Legos. You can enter Legos into the fair, which is really cool. And there were some really cool designs. Like, one kid made a fully functional pinball Lego design with, like, a plunger. You shoots a little Lego ball up, and then you have these little functional buttons that make the things, like, it wasn't great, but it was a cool functional pinball machine made out of Legos. That's a really cool creative idea. That is art. That is really cool. It didn't win anything. First place in the Legos was someone who built the Mighty Bowser Lego set, a $300 Lego set. They didn't do anything to it. They just built the set following the instructions, and that got first place. And that felt so unfair to me. You're telling me this kid who built a functional pinball Lego gets a loser sticker, and the kid who just followed directions and their parents could buy them expensive Legos wins? That seems so unfair, and that tainted it at first for me. I felt like that kid got cheated. And then we went to the photography, and we were talking about this earlier, but here we go. I entered 4 photos into the photography competition. I expected to win something. Not first place, maybe third place, on just one. I didn't want to win everything. I thought I could win one. And I lost in every division. And the winning photo, I don't even know if you would call it a photo, was this abstract thing. And I'm trying not to be bitter about it, and I'm trying not to sound like a jerk, because I don't want to take away, like, that other guy who made this photo, like, if he put time and work into it, I don't want to be like, your art sucks. But at the same time, it to me didn't qualify as a photo. It should not have been entered into the photography competition. And the fact that it won and took awards away from other people really, really upset me. And it tainted, like, it made me so upset. Like, I didn't even take any more pictures at the fair. Like, the fun of photography was sucked out of it at that moment for me. Like, I don't even enjoy taking photos right now. And I know that's a little dramatic, and I'm hoping that'll fade and I'll go back to loving photography in a little bit. But, like, I legitimately was just like, that's the breaking point. I'm gonna sell all my photography gear and I'm done. I can't sell my photos. I can't run a business, and I can't win an art contest. So what's the point in me being a photographer anymore? Like, obviously I'm not good enough to get the acknowledgement from my peers. And it just, I know, again, that sounds traumatic and it sounds so stupid saying it out loud, but that's just how I felt. Like, it was so upsetting to me that's what happened. So that's what spawned the whole, we were just talking about a little bit ago. Like, I want to find something that I'm truly good at. I want to find something that I'm good enough at, that if I post it on TikTok, if I post it on YouTube, that it would be acknowledged by people as like, wow, that's a good piece of work, or I like that art, or whatever it is. You know, I want to find that for me. So let me show you, since we're, yeah, let me pull it up here. Bear with me a second. I gotta find it. Okay, now let's go here, and now we have to hide that, unhide that. Okay. So this was first place, and this is in the photography category. I can't even tell if that's a photo. At first I thought it was a painting. Like, how in the world is that a first place photo? Like, there's no image quality, there's no sharpness, there's no subject, it doesn't look like a photo. So how is that the winning photo? Like, at all. There's nothing to that just, like, if you showed that to me, I think it would be a painting. And as an abstract painting, I would enjoy this as an abstract painting. I do like abstract art, so this isn't just me like, oh, abstract and modern art isn't real art. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is not a photo. Now, see, you're saying it's CGI and Photoshop, so those two things were specifically banned in this competition, and it was judged by professional photographers. So if professional photographers couldn't figure out that this was CGI and Photoshop, then it should be disqualified for that, let alone. So that was first place. This was second place. A blurry, out of focus shot of a clock with some text superimposed over it. Like, now granted, the image quality, this was on like a little head camera I had, so the image quality was not this bad. The image quality is partially because of the camera that I was using. But, like, this is nowhere near second place quality, in my opinion. When we were looking, like, there was a polar bear photo that had amazing composition, amazing sharpness. There were a bunch of landscapes that had beautiful colors and interesting scenery. There were some people photos that were just amazing. There was a photo of a little girl under a blanket reading with like a little pen light that was, it had emotion, it had depth, it had subject, like, wonderful work of art. There was one with women with headscarves, beautiful headscarves, in a crowd of other people that it told a story. It told a story. This does not tell me a story. This looks like someone gave their toddler a iPad and they were just taking random photos. Like, they're both of these. Like, this doesn't look like, I don't feel anything looking at it. This is what there are people defending this. There are other professional photographers who are like, oh well, landscapes are so boring to look at, but this makes me feel. I don't feel anything looking at this because I don't know what it is. Because a photograph, you shouldn't have to wonder what is in the photograph. Like the basic part of a photo should be you are photo identifying something, right? If you can't tell what the photo is of, you have failed to take a photo. So, all right, I'm done ranting. Back to the game. So that was really upsetting to me that I lost to those two photos. And again, there were other photos on there that I would have been happy to lose to. There were some photos that were so brilliantly taken that if someone told me that I lost to those ones, okay. That is more than fair. I will take my lumps and I will accept losing to that. But those ones, no. Dexter's here. Hello, Dexter. You just missed my rant. Sorry. You'll have to go without a rant, and now my setup's not working. What is going on here? Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Got the gameplay back. So, yeah, those judges really make me mad. And I could almost give it if the county fair and the state fair seem to be judged by little old ladies. So if it was little old ladies who know nothing about photography, whatever, that you can't help that, right? But this was a professional photo store with professional photographers who were giving their opinions. So there's no excuse for that, right? This was professionals who chose those. So I don't even know what to do or think on that one. But yeah, I was upset for those kids with the Legos. Again, it's not fair that the biggest, most expensive Lego set won, right? There should be more to Lego judging than it's an expensive set, so here's the win. That was upsetting on behalf of those kids. I did talk to the Warhammer community, though, and I told them that next year we should enter our Warhammer miniatures into the competition. And I think I got a few people who are going to do that, so hopefully we get that. Something to shake up the state fair a little bit. Probably won't win with those either, but, it's not always about winning. But in this case, I wanted to win. I really wanted to win. I really thought I could. But again, there were some amazing, amazing photographs people took in there. So if I lost to one of those amazing ones, sometimes you just get outclassed, right? And so this is something I didn't realize how I don't know if messed up is the right word for this. So, Bubble, you're the only parent in this chat, so we're gonna ask Bubble's opinion on this because I'm pretty sure Emmy told me this was pretty messed up. Keep in mind, I love my parents. My parents are wonderful, but one of the lessons that my parents always instilled in me as a kid is that you will never be number one. You will never be the best at anything. There will always be someone bigger than you, always someone better than you, always someone smarter than you, always someone faster than you. So you will never be number one. And I think that's kind of stuck with me a little bit more than I thought. Most parents tell their kids that you can do anything you set your mind to. You can be number one. That is not the lesson that I got. So, Bubble, since you're the parent in the chat, would you ever consider saying something like that to your kid? Yes or no, why or why not? Everyone else feel free to weigh in also, but I'm pretty sure, Dexter, you don't have kids, I'm pretty sure. Do not, yeah, see, that's what I was thinking, but... So, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing necessarily to tell your kids, because, for the most part, that is absolutely correct, right? I'm never going to be an Olympic athlete, right? There's no way. I'm never going to be Ninja, the top, I'm never going to be PewDiePie. I'm never going to be number one in any of those things. So it's not necessarily a bad lesson, because it is accurate, right? Most people will never be number one at things. Try hard for what you want. My message to my kid will be, you do the best you can do. If you put your all into it, then you regret nothing. And see, it's the same thing, right? Like, it is absolutely true that not everyone can be the best. Not everyone can do Olympic athletes, but everyone can do the best they can do, right? So, at the start of this stream, the part you guys missed because you weren't here, and I've said this a few times, so sorry on the people you watching on YouTube who've heard this like 3 times now. I want to find that thing that I am really good at, though. I don't know what it is, but I hope there's something out there that I might not be number one at, but I would be considered great at. Something notably great at that people would discuss. And I want to find that. And I'm going to have some time on this unemployment to hopefully do that. But I have no idea what it's going to be. I want to try piano. I'm pretty sure it's not piano. Like, piano takes a lifetime of dedication to be notably great at, to my understanding. It's not YouTubing and streaming so far. It's not photography so far. So I want to find what it is that St. Waffles is notably exceptional at. And I just have no idea what that's going to be. For those watching, I'm a phenomenal dungeon master for Dungeons & Dragons. That is true. I am a phenomenal Dungeons & Dragons dungeon master, but that hasn't gotten me any accolades or where I want. Imagine you're the best in the world at a sport like soccer or football. I don't think... It definitely wouldn't be soccer. I am not built for soccer. There's no way that I'm the best soccer player. Every teacher, every coach tried to get me to play football when I was in high school. I was built like... I wasn't going to be like... There's no way that I would be the quarterback. I'm not throwing the ball. I'm not running the ball. But I'll tell you what I could do. I could have been a great linebacker. At 6'4" and 325 pounds, I definitely think that I could have been an exceptional linebacker, blocker, whatever the word for them is, person who stands there and makes sure that no one gets by them. I probably could have done that well. But I have that horrible hernia, and now that my insides are, held together by a small, thin piece of mesh, I'm pretty sure that one bad tackle and my guts are going to blow out of my body a second time. So no, I'm probably not going to be a great football player. I might have been able to have been at some point, but I'm pretty sure no on both those fronts. I'm pretty sure it's not anything athletic. I'm fairly certain that it's not anything athletic. Here's the things I can tell you I know that it's not. It is not hula hooping. I suck at the hula hoop. That's not my special secret talent. Ball and cup, it's not the ball and cup. So we can eliminate those two. It's not going to be those two. I've always wanted to be a board game maker. Maybe it's that. I've always wanted to make like a Christian/Catholic Dungeons & Dragons-esque game or board game. There's not enough Catholic board games out there. And I've always wanted to be a board game designer, so maybe I'll go all Ben from Parks and Recs. When he gets unemployed, he does stop motion, and when that fails, he makes the Cones of Dunshire. I want to do stop motion, and I did some okay stop motion. It wasn't anything grand. So maybe I'll make Cones of Dunshire. Maybe I'm secretly a really good game maker. So maybe that's what I'll spend my unemployment on. And I'll make the Cones of Dunshire 2. Or stop motion. I do like stop motion. Emmy, he's good improviser with storytelling and quick learner at everything he does. Yeah, that's the problem though. I know that I'm good at everything that I do. but I don't want to be a jack of all trades. I want to have one thing that I'm really good at. And I know it's one of those things like when you have curly hair, all you want is straight hair, right? And all the people who have straight hair, they want curly hair. I know there's plenty of people out there who would love to be able to just pick up anything and be good at it, right? Like, I picked up bass guitar. I can play bass guitar now. I'm painting miniatures. I can write some poetry. I can tell stories. I can play any video games. I can do any board game. Anything I pick up, I can do, but I can't do it at, like, an expert level, right? I can just do it well enough. And I understand there are some people out there who really want that ability, so I'm sure it's one of those things, the guy who mastered piano would probably love to be able to do other things other than piano. So I get it, it's kind of a curly hair, straight hair sort of thing, I'm sure. I'm certain that's how it is, but the grass is always greener, right? Maybe. Maybe I'm totally wrong, who knows? I need to... One of these days, y'all can't see it. One of the other, my fatal flaw, something that I suck at. I suck at cord management. I have so many cords hanging off my computer right now. One of these days, I need to just, like, unhook everything and reset up my gaming battle station. Like, this is a wired rat's nest and mess. And, like, right now I have... We're going to count... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have 19 USBs plugged into my computer right now. I'm pretty sure nobody needs 19 objects plugged into their computer. And I'm sure that half the cords aren't even plugged into anything anymore. They were probably plugged in at one point for one thing and I just left them there. So I need to go back through and redo my entire computer setup because this thing is a horrible rat's nest of things. Why? Okay, let's count the USBs that I actually need. Got mouse, and we have keyboards. That's 2. I have my mouse pad, and I know that sounds dumb, but I have a Razer mouse pad that plugs into my computer so it glows like my Razer mouse and Razer keyboard. To me, that is essential. So that is an essential. That's 3. Speakers. My speakers work through USB, so that's 4. I've got my microphone for talking, streaming. That's 5. We've got my camera for streaming. That's 6. Then I have 2 USB extenders for all these other things. Those may or may not be essential. So that's 8. I've got my hard drive for photography. That's 9. I've got the capture card for when I do streams. That's 10. That's 10 that's useful right now. I've got one for my Xbox controller. That's 11. I've got one for my PS5 controller for when I stream PS5 games. That's 12. I've got a Nintendo Switch dock. That's 13. Speaking of which, I need to charge my Switch up for tomorrow. Let me get that back on the charger. That's 13 essential ones right there. I've got my lighting for my camera. So that's 15. There's 3 of them. So that's 16. Yeah, so that's at least 16 that are absolutely necessary. I can't stream or live without those. So that's 16 USBs that need to be plugged into my computer for photography and streaming. That's a lot, though. That seems like an excessive amount of USBs. And then optional, I've got my Razer emoji that when you guys send me stuff, emojis and all that through my stream, that plugs in by USB. So that's 17. I've got a Fitbit charger. Got to stay healthy. That's 18. I think that's all of them. You know it's excessive. It's a little excessive. The fact that it maxes out 2 additional USB chargers is outrageous. It is truly outrageous. Oh, and then I've got my card reader for when I pull micro SDs out of cameras and drones. So that's 19. And then I need a free USB for when I plug in extra USBs when I'm transferring files from PlayStation, or if I'm putting files onto one for a client for photography. So that's 20. And then I'm pretty sure I have 5 separate USB-C charging cables over here. So that's all of them. That is what every single one of my USB cables is doing for me, and it's bad. It's real bad. They're knotted up and everything in here, and the important thing is it makes me happy, right? That's what matters when we're talking about all the USBs. But I'm pretty sure I can parse some of these down. I probably don't need to have all of that plugged in all at once. This is why I got a 1,000 watt power supply for my streaming machine, though, was so that I could run tons and tons and tons of peripherals off of it without having to worry about my stuff. Josh is at the state fair. He just sent a Snapchat. I couldn't save. One of my photos sold. The Oregon Beach sold? Really? I don't... Really? Someone bought one of my photos? Really? So y'all, I guess we'll... Okay, I know we were just showing off photos, so this... it's hard to hide that, unhide that. Okay. Let me pull up the photo so I can talk about it. This is the photo that apparently sold. It's Glendon Beach out in Oregon. Oh, did my stream just crash? That was a terrible lag spike. Okay. That is my photo. I can't believe that sold. I'm trying to get him to send me another Snapchat, but that doesn't surprise me. Alright, we'll switch back to the gameplay. Wild how that didn't win. Right? Like, to be fair, so that one's in a special category. So that one was... That category hasn't been voted on yet. That one is in the Oregon category. So they had a special Oregon-only category that was supposed to be for, like, only things in Oregon. So there may be something different for that one, but we'll see. Wow, my stream is running awful now. It looks like everything's all choppy and laggy. Apparently, this game does not like it. My computer does not like it when I alt-tab too much, because I've been alt-tabbing way too much, and that, wow, that's bad. Let's see if I can fix this. All right, let's see if that's better. Okay. So we'll see if there's something different for the Oregon Special Award, but I was really disappointed that the Black and White Vulture didn't win. That's the one everyone had their money on winning, was the Black and White Vulture. But if that photo sold, then we can just disregard this entire stream, and I guess my dream's alive again, because it means I can sell a photo. And as Emmy was the first one to say this, so, credit to Emmy is, what does it matter if your photo doesn't win if someone buys it, right? What matters more, a blue ribbon from the state fair or someone actually purchasing a piece of art to hang in their house? Quick shout out that to everyone watching, Commander Cat is still for sale also, so, if you want a kitty to hang in your house, he's still available. Just throwing it out there. One of the features I want to talk about in this game really quick, I haven't talked a lot about Palia. Let's talk about it. It's really cool. So Emmy can come over to my house, and she can redecorate my house for me, which, as we all saw yesterday, my house needs redecorating. So she's doing that for me. But also, we can cook together. And it's really cool because we share ingredients. So, like, she puts an ingredient up and I put an ingredient up and we share it. And then we both get something for it. So it's really cool for both of us to get something out of cooking together. That deer is stuck in that house. This happened to us yesterday, too. This is the only bug that's been happening in the game. We chased one of these deer down, and it got stuck underground. This one got stuck in an outhouse. Like, what a horrible fate to get stuck in the outhouse. Let me see if I can hit it with one of my expensive dispelling arrows.
Do you want to show them? I just finished my chores. Do you want to show them the cooking stuff?
Sure, yeah. Let's see if we can hit this guy with a dispelling arrow and knock him out of there. No. Well, that's a bummer. The deer are stuck in the outhouse. I have too many cats as it is. I don't believe you for 1 second, Dexter. There is no such thing as too many cats. I don't think there's a single person online, on the internet, in real life, who thinks there is such a thing as too many cats. Oh, it popped out. It popped out. Where'd it go? Oh, they got it. No, they got it up there where we can't reach the loot. Wait. Wait. I got an idea. Let's climb up here. We got it! We got the special deer! Let's see if we can get this person up here. Come on, follow me. Okay, follow me. Now come up here. Hey, follow me. There you go, up here. Come on. Dude, follow me. I'm trying to show you. Okay, follow me. Trying to help you. Follow. There you go. Now follow me. Up here. Come on. Okay, climb up here. There you go. Now you see the cliff? Now you jump and glider down like that. There you go. No, there you go. We did it. We helped the community. Look at that. All right. Emmy invited us to party, so... Okay, let's show off this feature. I can't return home just yet, so I gotta go find the instant teleporter, because this is a really cool feature of the game. Running over here, running over here. Which, this threw me off. So the horseshoes in this game are fast travel. I didn't realize the horseshoes were fast travel because I thought the horseshoes meant buying a horse. And I couldn't afford a horse, I didn't think. So I just didn't go to any of the horseshoes. So I didn't even know there was like fast travel in the game for like the longest time. Because I was like, I can't afford a horse. Why would I go to the stable? I can't afford that. Lo and behold, I was running needlessly everywhere because fast travel is in the game. I'm just a little dumb. So, Emmy can come visit the house anytime now and make changes to it, which is awesome, fun gameplay. You can marry some of the NPCs, I think, so I really hope they add the ability to be able to like marry other players so that, you know, I can have Emmy as my permanent spouse in real life and in game too. I hope that's a feature. I don't know if they'll add it or not. It's also pumpkin spice season. Yeah. Typically we boycott Starbucks, but once a year we go to Starbucks because pumpkin spice season is a thing, right? So once a year they get us for the pumpkin spice. Gonna be WoW headings. If we could get married in World of Warcraft, we would have. You can get married in Final Fantasy, but Emmy never played enough Final Fantasy for us to do that. Oh, so here she is. So see, she can be on my farm. So check this out. If we go up here, I can initiate the cooking, and I can tell this thing that I want to cook a steak dinner. And now Emmy can run over here and make the dough and the spices and things like that. Our characters did get married in WoW, that is true. I don't get pumpkin spice, there's no pumpkin in it. You know, that's the best part about pumpkin spice is because pumpkin is gross. So pumpkin spice not having any pumpkin in it is actually a good thing because pumpkin is super gross. So see, I had started the recipe, so it took my steak, but she's cutting the thing, so it's using her ingredients to make that. So because we're sharing ingredients, we both get the full final outcome of the cooking, which I think is really cool. Don't have any wheat again. But see, like, she doesn't have any wheat right now, so I have to do this part of it because I have wheat, but she'll still get credit for it, so we still share everything, which I think is awesome. I'm pretty sure most of our World of Warcraft characters got married now that I think about it. We wrote a lot of characters for World of Warcraft in our stories. I'm pretty sure most of them ended up together or married. except for the ones who were sisters. We weren't doing that kind of writing, so they did not end up together. So boom, now we both get 3 steak dinners for half the ingredients each, which is one of the coolest features of the game, I think, to be able to share cooking ingredient like that. And she gets experience for it, so we both level up at the same time. We get to share things. It's really cool when a co-op game actually lets you do things co-op. We weren't doing that kind of writing. that's what I'm saying. I know that there's a whole category online for that kind of writing. That's not what we were doing. But they are the cutest sisters ever. Someday Emmy will finish writing the book so that you can all see it and enjoy it. I don't know when that day will be, but someday we will have a book for you guys to read and enjoy. And I am very excited for that someday. Alright, that's making potato seeds. That's still making glowing worms for us. That's still making regular worms for us. This is out of seeds. What kind of seeds do we need here? We've got wheat seeds. We got rice seeds. We need onion and cotton seeds. Let's make some cotton seeds. Smelter's still going. This smelter is not going. There we go. So much stuff to keep track of. Drop the seeds off, drop the bricks off, drop the silks off. Don't need those. Don't need that. So much stuff to keep track of. Can sell those, and those. The next backpack upgrade for us costs 50,000 gold. Like, I've never had more than 6,000 gold. And they want us to raise 50,000 gold for the next backpack. And the new event that they're putting in that starts in, like, 2 days, 3 days. You need to have, like, 100,000 gold to buy everything for it. I don't know how I'm going to afford all that, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to be able to afford the new event stuff. That's too much gold. I'm nowhere close to that. Welcome in. I see some new people joining us and lurking. Welcome in, lurkers. Lurkers are always welcome. Glad to see y'all. We're just watering our crops. I do really need to buy that well that will let me get water faster on the property, because I go through water so fast. And in fact, I want to buy 2 more plots of soil. And like there's some like crazy. So if I hold G down here, you can see like every plant that's next to each other gives them a boost. So like being near onions gives you the ability to prevent weeds, but being near a potato gives you the ability to retain water. So there's some way that you figure it out where your crops go in a certain way that optimizes this. And I need to like sit down, and I never thought about this for a game, but I'm literally going to grab like an Excel sheet and draw out this plot of land that, you know, this is a 3-6, so a 9x9, and literally draw like the best optimal crop rotation possible. And there's only one other game that I can think of in the world where anyone would ever grab a spreadsheet for it, and that's EVE Online. And that game is basically spreadsheet simulator. So I can't believe I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do that because I want to get these crops in optimally. Right now I'm just trying to raise money because I need $150,000 by Tuesday, and I have $6,000. So we're a little short on funds. Nerd alert, serious gamer, love it. The game is layered, but the thing is, like, there's there's layers to it, and it's as complex as you want it to be, right? If you don't want to spend time optimizing your farming, you don't have to. Your crops will grow regardless, right? So it might not be optimized, but when you're playing, there are so many people who are complaining that this game doesn't have enough content after 100 hours. This game isn't meant to be played for 100 hours back to back to back, right? It's meant to log on and just have a little bit of fun here and there, and you put it down, you walk away, and you go do something else, right? Like, it's not meant to be played like that. So if you don't want to pull up a spreadsheet, you don't have to. Your stuff will grow eventually. It's just not 100% efficient. Personally, I like efficiency, so I don't mind doing that. That's fun to me, but there's no need to actually do that if you don't want to. What do you mean I don't have enough renown? Well, I guess we don't. I have less renown than I thought. But I do have the money to go buy more soil, so let's go buy some more soil. Speaking of soil, while we were out and about the other day, I was walking by and I passed by Ace Hardware goods place. And they had bags of soil for sale for $20 for a bag of, Miracle Grow soil. And I thought to myself, how messed up is it that some people for an hourly wage don't even make a bag of dirt? You're telling me a bag of dirt is worth more than an hour of someone's labor? Or to put it even worse, there are parking lots in New York and Chicago and like really, really big cities that like to rent the parking space is between $15 and $30 an hour. You're telling me that 4 hours of someone's work is not worth a parking space? 4 hours is not worth 1 hour of parking? Like, when you start comparing things to everyday items like that, like, your labor's not worth a parking space? It's not worth literal dirt? Like, how dehumanizing and horrible is that? How broken is our system that your time literally isn't worth dirt? It's just demotivating and horrible. I understand those things have to have value associated with them because that's the world we live in, and I'm not trying to argue against capitalism or communism or anything like that. I'm just saying that, like, when you compare your wages to a bag of dirt and you see that you would have to work all day to buy 2 bags of dirt, it hits you kind of in the feels, right? Let's buy our dirt. If only money was as easy in real life to earn as it is here. Just go outside, catch a few bugs, grow a potato. Boom, you're done for the day. Where's the dude? Guess I should have checked the map first. He's drinking at the inn. Okay, well, we wasted a little bit of time. That's okay. Gonna go buy a bag of dirt for you and me. So we went shopping a couple different places today. I had to go get some new paintbrushes for my Warhammer painting. And we went to Guitar Center. There was a kid who got really popular streaming because every time he got a kill in Call of Duty, he lit off a little rave party. So I honestly, I went and looked at that and saw, could I implement that into my streaming to make my streaming less boring so that people will show up. I'm pretty sure it's not for me, but I did consider getting a fog machine and like a laser light show. I did think about it. But we also, we stopped in at Spencer's because I'm trying to find a specific hat. And I will say, I'm pretty sure I have officially reached a point in my life where I'm too old nor the target audience for Spencer's anymore. Like, I walked through there and all I thought was, this store's kind of gross. Like, all their t-shirts are basically just pornographic at this point, or like, oh, don't cut yourself on that edge. Like, they're just edgy, sleazy, dirty. And then they have dirty board games. and then a bunch of like cheap mugs. Like I don't know. I guess I'm too old for Spencer's, which is crazy because I remember like when I was in high school when we'd go on field trips because we live in a place that sucks so bad that sometimes our field trip was literally going to the mall that was in Portland that doesn't suck, right? That's a field trip, is for the entire class to pile into a bus and go to a mall that's not awful. And while we were there, all the kids would go into Spencer's because that's like the cool store with all the cool and fun stuff. And now it's just like, oh, this isn't cool or fun. This is just dirty. So I have reached that point in my life where I am no longer the target audience for Spencer's. Just order a laser shoe thing for a week of streaming, then return it. Well, that's what I play Call of Duty every now and then, right? So every time that we get a kill, we can do a little rave dance party. But how does that work for cozy gaming? Every time we grow a crop, do we set up the fog machine? Well, how do you implement that into this? I don't see that as possible. I'm glad you put it that way. What, the Spencer's thing or the cozy gaming thing? Not the target audience. Well, see, that's the thing. So like when Barbie movie came out, there were a lot of people who hated on the Barbie movie. And like, well, this movie isn't for me. Yeah, that's the point. The movie doesn't have to be for you. Not everything has to be made for you, right? So I can respect and understand that not everything has to be made for me. I am coming to your farm, Emmy. I wish elder millennial Pokemon fans would understand that. I definitely feel like Pokemon games aren't made for me anymore. I definitely feel that way. However, there was announced that there is a Pokemon-esque game being made for us that is set in radioactive Poland, and you have to capture radioactive, horrible, Cthulhu-like monstrosities and do battle with them. So maybe adult Pokemon out there? That being said, do not Google adult Pokemon. Please do not do that. Took me a second to see you were using a hoe. I thought you were using a paint roller to make a plot of dirt. Okay, Emmy, I made it to your farm. Did you want me to do something here, or did you want to show it off and stream your farm that's so much better than mine? What is it you wanted to accomplish at your farm? Should we explore it? Is that what we're going to do? I also wonder. I don't have permissions. I can't cut down her tree. Vandalism. Want to show you how far you're at. Okay, so we're going to explore Emmy's farm. So let's see. We've got a light post. This tent, I know she wants to get rid of this tent, but right now the tent is bugged. So we're making the best of a bad situation. We can't get rid of the tent, so it's just there. We've got organized crafters. Very nice. You can see Emmy is a loot goblin like me and hoards tons and tons of loot, so has to have hundreds of thousands of boxes. Got a nice little fire pit. Ooh, look at what Emmy did here. Look at this garden. You've got the little firewood stand. You've got the garden right in front of the house, the flower pot. Like, look at how good Emmy did designing this little farming area here. You've got the little deer watching over the farm. Super cute. Let's go in the house. We've got a chandelier when you come in. Little kitchen area right here with pots and pans over it. A little reading area with a lute and a little fishy rug, place to sit down. Closet in the corner. 2 stoves. And a mixing counter. This is very nice looking. This is 10 times better than what I got. This little windmill. I know you're working on it, but I love this. I love this little gardening area right here. I might have to steal that idea. That is a brilliant, nice looking little garden area right here. Great job on that. Proudhorn head? I didn't see the Proudhorn head. Oh, right there. She's got the mythical stuffed deer head above the dining room table with a bowl of fruit. With cheese, Mr. Squidward. With cheese. That's a meme for all you kids out there. We're incorporating memes into my stream now in a bid to be more interesting. We are going to add lit memes from the kids. See if we can get on top of her house. I don't think we can. I feel that when I get access to this game, I'm going to be so far behind. So here's the really cool thing. There's an event starting next week. It's a limited time event. However, they have already promised that every item you can unlock at the limited time event will be available at a later date. So a lot of games have this feeling where it's like I have to play nonstop because if I don't, I'm going to miss out on it and I won't be able to access it ever again. This doesn't have this. So no matter how far behind you are, everything is still there for you to get to when you get to it, which is by far the coolest thing about the game, right? There is no rush. If you can't play during this event, so what? You'll get that stuff later when you get to it. It's really awesome to not have to worry about being behind or missing out. You can truly do it at your own pace. And the fact that you can request things, like if you need something and you just build a community, you can go in here and say, you know what, I really need some lumber for my house, so I'm going to request some lumber for my house, or whatever it is. And the community is really good about doing that. See, I'm going to request some gold. We'll see if someone sends me some money. I also, for all you people out there, did start a community. The Waffle House is officially open in our community, so you know, when you do start playing, you can join the community, hang out with us, and we will try and give people who join the community stuff so that their house can be built and caught up and all that. With all of that said, I think it's about time for me to stop. I promised Emmy that if she got all the stuff done that she said she needed to do today, we would look at going to a movie. And our movie passes are just about up. We've got a couple movies left to see. We need to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Meg 2, and The Nun 2. And then we're going to let our movie access lapse for a little bit until there's more good movies in the theaters. So we have to go see what time movies are playing and if there's anything worth seeing. So, like always, let's end with our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Thank you, Lord, for this blessed day. Thank you for friends, for family, for the time that you give us on this earth, the time to appreciate all of your creation and all that you have commanded to be. Lord, we pray for those who currently are without, those who are struggling with the wildfires, natural disasters. Lord, for people who have been displaced or lost their home, help them to manage these hard and difficult situations. We pray for those who are struggling with mental health, those who struggle with depression, ADHD, schizophrenia, all sorts of things that make life hard, Lord. Help people to manage these difficulties and help them to find you through all the hardship. And finally, we pray for those who have no one left to pray for themselves, those holy souls in purgatory who are awaiting cleansing to be entered into your everlasting kingdom of love. Lord, help those souls to fully come into heaven and be with you for all of time. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me today. Thank you for listening to me as I talked and complained a lot today, but I really appreciate everyone hanging out here. I know there's a few new lurkers, so if you want to catch me next time, I don't always stream on a schedule, but of course, if you subscribe, you get notifications when I'm going next. There is the Discord to join and the YouTube if you want more. So thank you everyone for hanging out. Have a blessed day, and we will see you again on Monday.